Okay, welcome everyone. All right, do we have sound on? Can you hear okay? All right, my name is Paul Eakins. I'm the Public Affairs Information Officer for the City of Santa Ana. I want to welcome you all today. And what we are doing today is a press conference that's a little different than your typical press conference. Because of the pandemic and all of the precautions that we're taking as a city, we wanted to there's an urgent message that needs to be provided to the members of our community, and in this joint effort with the school district, the city, and Latino Health Access. But we want everyone to understand that we do not want to have people gathering together. So today, we have a couple speakers here in person, and then the other speakers and the other elected officials will be on Zoom on the screen behind us, and they will be speaking virtually. So this is a virtual and in-person press conference, but we want everyone to understand the reasons that we're doing this, because the last thing we wanted was to have a gathering of people here at the same time. So for our participants on Zoom, thank you all for joining us, and as I think you've been advised, but just to make sure, because this is a little different, you'll be able to hear the mayor and the speakers here via Zoom. If you want to watch the full press conference with the view of everything here, you can watch on the city's YouTube channel as well, and I know you were sent that link. And when it's your turn to speak, we will call on you. If you do have YouTube on, please mute your YouTube audio, and then you will unmute your Zoom. So with that, I think we're all good. And I will introduce our new mayor of the city of Santa Ana, Vicente Sarmiento.
Thank you, Paul, and good morning to everybody, and welcome. We're here for a very, very important message that we're going to be presenting to you by the agencies that are gathered. And let me begin by just thanking our city manager here in the city of Santa Ana, the superintendent from the Santa Ana Unified School District, and especially America Bracho from Latino Health Access, who really sounded the alarm for all of us to join together today. Let me also recognize a couple of people that are joining us, some colleagues of mine from the City Council, Mayor Pro Tem David Peñalosa, Councilmember Ty Viet Pham, Councilmember Jesse Lopez, Councilmember Phil Becerra, and Councilmember Jonathan Hernandez. And you'll be hearing from the board president, Rigoberto Rodriguez, and he's joined by his colleagues on the school board, Carolyn Torres and Valeria Mesquas. So thank you all. And this is an irregular press conference because we're doing it both in a hybrid way, in person and by Zoom, virtually, just to stay safe. But it's because we have a critical message to together voice, which is that we are at a critical moment in this fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. We know that throughout the country, throughout the state, throughout the county, we are dealing with this pandemic, but Santa Ana has been disproportionately impacted. We are the epicenter in the county for the impact of this virus. So we as a community have to stand together. We have to fight against this. We have to band together and make sure that we fight this as a community, as residents. We're asking every man, woman, child, business, everybody here to do their part. We know that we have to do this together or else we're not going to be successful. We've all done individual efforts through the county, through the city, through the school board, but we decided to gather here today to talk under one consistent theme, one message that's going to unify us, and we're going to do what basically is a campaign that is under one banner. And that banner is for us to, stay 6 feet apart, wear our masks, not gather, wash our hands, do all the things that are necessary that we need to do. But we must protect our city. We are under siege. The ICU beds are very, very low. We're at critical mass at our hospitals, and these are things that we have to do. So this campaign that we're launching today is going to be a full citywide effort. It's to have signs, banners, messaging to the public and to every resident that we have to take this seriously. This is a critical moment. The good thing is that our businesses have agreed to help us with this. We're going to be able to work with the chamber and put these placards in their windows so when people come in, they'll see that we are all very serious about this. And one of the things I know that's very tough for us is that we're entering, and we're in the midst of the holiday season. So Christmas is right around the corner, New Year's is right around the corner, and those are traditional moments where we all want to gather with our families and our friends. We're asking you that we can't do that this year. And we have to do our best to stay apart, not gather, maybe gather virtually if we can, but just find different ways of being together. We've always been a strong city. We've always stood under that moniker that we're stronger together. We're just asking you now that we have to be safer apart. So let me say that in Spanish because we know that we have so many of our members of the public here in Santa Ana that speak in Spanish. So lo que les quería decir es de que estamos aquí juntos para darles un mensaje que estamos en un momento crítico de la historia de la ciudad y esta pandemia, que Santa Ana está siendo afectada desproporcionadamente, ¿o no? Entonces lo que queremos hacer es unirnos bajo un mensaje uniforme que estamos diciendo que tenemos que no juntarnos, tenemos que estar aparte, 6 pies, tenemos que lavar nuestras manos y más que nada seguir todas las órdenes. Y yo sé que ahorita es bien difícil porque vienen las fiestas navideñas, viene Año Nuevo y son momentos que queremos estar juntos como familia, como amigos. Nosotros les estamos pidiendo que no lo hagan eso en estos días o no en estas semanas y meses que vienen. Estos son los momentos que tenemos que más que nada estar cuidándonos porque nadie nos va a cuidar si no nos cuidamos. Entonces yo les pido que siempre hemos estado fuertes, unidos, pero yo les digo que vamos a estar más seguros aparte. Entonces déjeme presentar al próximo persona que nos va a platicar. Let me go ahead and turn the mic over to the Santa Unified School Board President, Rigo Rodriguez, to share some words with us as well. Rigo?
Good morning. I'm Dr. Rigo Rodriguez, President of the Santa Ana Unified School District, and I'll be sharing my comments today in Spanish, as I know that some of my colleagues, particularly Vice President of our board, Carolyn Torres, will be sharing her comments in English in a second. I'm also sharing these comments in Spanish because the vast majority of our families are Spanish-speaking. So let me transition over to Spanish. Buenos días. Los casos de COVID en Santa Ana siguen subiendo a pasos alarmantes. Por eso, hoy estamos aquí, su alcalde, Vicente Sarmiento, América Bracho, que es la directora de Latino Health Access, y yo, su servidor, el doctor Rigo Rodríguez, presidente de la mesa directiva escolar de Santa Ana. Estamos aquí para pedirles, para rogarles que sigamos usando las medidas de prevención. O sea, usen mascarillas, lávense las manos, mantengan esa sana distancia para seguir previniendo el COVID y la infección. La prevención es sumamente importante para esta comunidad. Sabemos que el alza de estos casos se debe al Día de Acción de Gracias. Nos reunimos con nuestros seres queridos y ahora aquí estamos viendo esta alza tan súbita de estos casos de COVID. Y ahora que se avecina la Navidad y el Año Nuevo, vamos a querer reunirnos otra vez con nuestros seres queridos. Y humildemente les pido que si de verdad amamos a nuestros seres queridos, a nuestros familiares, hay que protegerlos, hay que protegernos. Por eso el lema de esta campaña se llama Protege Santa Ana. Hay que proteger a nuestros seres queridos. Si se van a reunir con sus seres queridos, háganlo en grupos pequeños, usen mascarillas, lávense las manos, mantengan sana distancia y si es posible, simplemente no se reúnan con otras familias, o sea, hay que amarnos a distancia. Y las familias inmigrantes saben hacer eso. Yo soy de una familia inmigrante y tenemos seres queridos en nuestros países de origen con quienes no nos podemos reunir en persona y por lo tanto hay que usar el teléfono, Facebook, Zoom, para mantenernos conectados. Sabemos ya hacerlo. Incluso si tenemos que mandar tamales congelados por correo hay que hacerlo porque estos casos de verdad son muy severos. No hay que dejar que estas celebraciones de la Navidad nos dejen sin nuestros seres queridos. Hay que celebrar con sana distancia esta Navidad y el Año Nuevo. Quiero también recalcar que en este trabajo que estamos haciendo la ciudad, el distrito escolar y también Latino Health Access, si alguien de su familia se encuentra con COVID, hay recursos, hay apoyo. Estamos trabajando muy de cerca. Ojalá la directora América Bracho pueda hablarles sobre esos recursos que hay para las familias. De nuevo quiero terminar agradeciéndoles por su atención y por tratar de seguir con este empeño de proteger a Santa Ana. Gracias por su atención y que Dios los bendiga. Y ahora voy a presentar a la directora América Bracho, que ha estado liderando estos esfuerzos a nivel del condado y lo ha hecho por muchos años y ahora está tomando un papel muy clave en este trabajo. I'd like to introduce América Bracho, the CEO of Latino Health Access, who for many years has been leading us in these kinds of public health efforts, and in the case of COVID-19 has played an instrumental role in bringing all of us together across the county, especially here in Santa Ana. So, America?
I'm going to make my comments first in English and then in Spanish. Good morning to you all. Today is a tough day of a tough week, of a tough year for our city, for Santa Ana, and for our families. I was trying to update the data so I can share that with you. I'd rather have you look at the website because the numbers are changing super fast. But we are having thousands of cases reported today. Hospitals are almost at capacity. The intensive care unit beds are at a lowest point. The city has double the positivity rate than the county. And there are zip codes that have double the case rate of the county. It is really alarming. And I want to share with you a conversation that I had just this morning. A friend of mine tells me that he couldn't go to work last week because he got sick around Thanksgiving. So I asked him, so were you celebrating? And he said, no. We attended the funeral of my aunt. She died of a non-COVID-related condition, but we gathered around her funeral. And the people attending the funeral got sick. As a result, they were sick, and another family member died of COVID. This time, they attended the funeral virtually. And I'm glad they attended the funeral virtually. I am very sad that people have to continue dying because they are gathering thinking this is not going to happen to me. And I can tell you that in this community we are fighters. We are hardworking people. We love our family. We don't want to die. We don't want to get sick. But if we don't want to die and we don't want to get sick, then we need to do something so we are not talking about having virtual funerals because we were having funerals in presence or parties in presence. So we are seeing the results of multiple gatherings, the elections and the games and the parties and Thanksgiving. So what is it? What is going to happen in Christmas? What is going to happen in New Year? How are we going to be in January? So our investment in this is an investment in each of you that is listening to this press conference. We believe that we can fight back. We need to fight for our dreams and our lives and our families, and we all need to fight against this virus. And for that reason, the City of Santa Ana, Latino Health Access, your schools, your leaders, your businesses are calling you to take action. We are not here to tell you what to do, but we are here to invite you to be part of the solution. This campaign that is being unveiled today and that you are going to see in the streets of Santa Ana in less than 2 hours has a clear message. Protect Santa Ana. Protege Santa Ana. And the idea is that this is not going to be Mayor Sarmiento protecting Santa Ana or Dr. Rigoberto Rodriguez. This is going to be you, Maria, Juan, Luis, Pedro, the one that is 63, 83, 12, 5. We need to protect Santa Ana. And as we approach Christmas and New Year and all of these holidays, I have to tell you that there is one gift that I want for me and for my community, and that is the gift of life. It is okay not to be together in person this time, so we can be together in all the years that are coming. It is okay to celebrate New Year and give each other a call so we can be around all the years that are going to come. Please protect Santa Ana. If you are interested in putting a sign like this in your house, if you want to display placards from your windows, there is a phone number that we are going to share. You can call, join the fight. This is for our city. This is for our family. Y lo quiero decir en español porque hay mucha gente que nos va a estar oyendo. Gracias a ustedes que están acá. Muy buenos días. Hoy es un día problemático y triste para nuestra ciudad de Santa Ana y para el condado, con miles de casos reportados, con los hospitales trabajando a capacidad, con nuestra unidad de terapia intensiva trabajando a capacidad, con una tasa de positividad que dobla en Santa Ana los datos del condado, con muchísimos casos. Y esto es el resultado de juntarnos en Thanksgiving, de juntarnos para las elecciones, para las protestas, para los juegos, para las celebraciones, un poco dentro de la idea de que esto no nos va a pasar. Y yo les quiero compartir que esta mañana hablé con un amigo que me dijo que la semana pasada no fue a trabajar, que estuvo muy enfermo, porque el Día de Acción de Gracias se juntaron en un funeral, antes de Acción de Gracias se juntaron en un funeral. Para el Día de Acción de Gracias él estaba enfermo. Y la gente que fue al funeral se enfermó de COVID. El funeral era para una tía que había muerto de una enfermedad que no era COVID. Pero la gente que fue al funeral de la tía se enfermó de COVID y otra tía se murió. Ese funeral siguiente de esta tía que murió de COVID lo hicieron virtual. Y a mí me alegra de que el funeral lo hayan hecho virtual para que no se sigan infectando, pero me da tristeza que haya tenido que llegar al punto de que alguien se muera para que nosotros entonces podamos entender que esto es de verdad, que esto es en serio. En este momento no hay una persona que no conozca a alguien que ha muerto o se ha enfermado de COVID. Yo les quiero decir que las vacunas ya llegaron a Orange County, y no dije eso en inglés, pero las vacunas ya llegaron a Orange County. Y estamos en línea esperando nuestro turno. Realmente sí hay una luz al final del túnel, pero estamos en el túnel y el túnel todavía está muy oscuro. Y tenemos que tener paciencia. Yo les pido que se unan a la campaña que Santa Ana está llevando a cabo y que va a empezar en las próximas 2 horas. Este es nuestro póster que ustedes pueden poner en sus casas, que pueden poner también detrás de sus ventanas. Lo que estamos pidiendo no es que usted haga lo que le estamos diciendo, es que usted se convierta en una voz contra el virus y por la vida. En esta comunidad somos peleadoras, somos guerreras, somos guerreros y queremos que cada uno de ustedes, la mamá, la abuelita, los niños, los hermanos, le digan a esta ciudad y a sus familias, estamos aquí para ustedes, todos luchando contra el COVID. Este es nuestro póster, protege Santa Ana. Tú proteges a Santa Ana, yo protejo a Santa Ana. No nos van a proteger, protegemos nosotros mismos activamente. Si estás interesado en un póster, en un afiche para poner en tu casa, te vamos a dar un número de teléfono. El regalo que yo quiero de Navidad para mi comunidad y para mí es el regalo de la vida, para estar aquí los años que vienen. ¿De qué nos sirve juntarnos ahora y ya no vernos más nunca? ¿De qué nos sirve darnos un abrazo de Año Nuevo este año y no abrazarnos más nunca? Es mejor tomar precauciones, la vacuna ya está aquí, vamos a tomar precauciones, protege Santa Ana, únete a esta pelea. Gracias.
All right, thank you. Now we're going to allow the participants on Zoom an opportunity to speak. And we do have a representative from the school district who we also wanted to give an opportunity here. It's Amanda Corridan. She's Deputy Superintendent. And then we will go to all of our council members and school board members. So are we ready to go for that? Okay. So if Ms. Corridan, if you could unmute, and you should be able to speak.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Superintendent Almendarez, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today and allowing us to share our efforts regarding this very important issue. Our students and much of our staff are starting their winter break on Monday, as you know, and at this time we are entering a critical phase of this pandemic. We know that many of our families use this break to travel and meet with family and friends, but I'm asking everyone to please practice extreme caution and to follow all recommended safety protocols over the next few weeks. Our schools have been closed for in-person instruction since March, and we know that students learn best and receive the most support when they are in their classroom with their teachers and classmates. That face-to-face interaction that takes place in our classrooms is such a powerful tool in learning. But in order for our students to return to their classrooms, our community needs to work together. This might mean that many of us should stay apart and stay home during the upcoming break, but I think it's important that we all take the necessary steps to be as cautious as possible. Finally, I want to thank Latino Health Access and the City of Santa Ana for joining us today to launch this important awareness campaign. It's important for all of us to work together to keep our community safe and healthy. We are entering a critical phase of this pandemic, and it's important for all of us to work together to keep our community safe and healthy. But I know that together we can accomplish this and do what's best for our students and our community. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Now, Carolyn Torres, Board Vice President, did you want to say a few words?
Yes. Hello, you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, everyone. I really want to say that we are in this together. All of us want to return to normal. All of us want to just live our lives pre-COVID, but we're still in this second spike, and it's really, really important for folks, if they've been laxed lately, or if they've kind of, like are not as safe as they were, say, in March, April, and May, that it's time to kind of revert back to how your behaviors were in the past. It's really important that you're wearing your masks, that you are practicing social distance, that you are reducing the amount of trips to the stores unless absolutely necessary. But the biggest thing is avoiding the gathering, which I know is which is going to be very hard for us because, we've been in this for months, and it's really hard to avoid having gatherings with families. But as we know, most people get COVID or when they're hanging out with their families. The Thanksgiving, I have friends and family that decided to gather during the Thanksgiving break, and they got COVID. We know how it happened. So please, please, please just keep wearing a mask, avoid gatherings, practice social distance. We all have to do this. It can't be just some of us. All of us have to do this together. Please, and thank you, and please stay safe.
Now, Valeria Mesqua, school board member. You can speak.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting Santa Ana Unified to participate in this partnership with the city. It's so very important that we do this together and that our message to the community shows that we're not just united as a district and the city council, but as a village, because that's what Santa Ana Unified is, and that's what the city of Santa Ana is. we're a huge family. So many of our families members are related. People are married to each other. We love to gather. We come from big families, but we really need to stay focused and protect ourselves. Santa Ana Unified is following all the CDC guidelines, and our priority right now is the safety and well-being of our students, our staff, and our community, all of you. And so I would ask that you wear your mask, practice social distancing, stay home. As Ms. Torres had indicated, people want to go shopping or gather. It's not safe. Everyone, we all feel the same way. You know, I come from a very large family. We're not gathering this year. Many of us, none of us should be gathering. As Dr. Bracho had talked about, people have gone to funerals. I've had to go to 5 funerals this year. It's been a very rough year, not only for me, but for many of you that are on this Zoom. And so I would ask that we all practice social distancing, we all wear our mask, and that we do this together, because Santa Ana is strong. We are a strong community, and we can make sure that we get better by practicing social distancing, washing your hands, staying home. The holidays are very, very difficult. Please be mindful and reach out to your family through Zoom, through a phone call, through a text. We have people that are suffering from mental health issues and isolation, and they feel alone. Be cognizant of the suicide rates within our city with our children. Please help where you can, but do it without coming in contact with other people. Because again, it takes a village to do this. And I would love to have a sign in my front yard to say that I am part of this campaign. And so thank you again, Mayor Vince Sarmiento, Dr. Rodriguez, and all the council members and school board members that are here, and the community, because together we will get through this. Together we will. Thank you again for inviting me to participate in this press release. Thank you.
Thank you. Now from the city, Mayor Pro Tem David Penalosa.
Good morning, everybody. This is Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Santa Ana, David Peñalosa. I'm, under the circumstances, I'm happy to be here in solidarity with our community, with the school district, with Latino Health Access, with the county, and working together in addressing this issue. It's been a tough year. In April, I had to meet my baby nephew via FaceTime. A month later, I buried my grandma via Zoom. It's been terrible, terrible. And I know that we all love to get together. We all love to hang out and party and have a good time. But for this holiday season, please just stay home, do virtual gatherings. Like someone mentioned earlier, send the food through mail or drop it off on the front porch. But please don't gather. And most importantly, wear a mask, because this is what's going to keep us safe and what's going to keep us, moving forward. We're in this together. Thank you.
Councilmember Tai Viet Phan.
Hi, I'd like to echo everything that's been said here, and I am so appreciative of the fact that we all gathered to share this message. But I'd like to say it in Vietnamese. Xin kính chào quý vị, đây là nghị viên Thái Việt Phan cho thành phố Santa Ana, khu vực 1. Hôm nay là sinh nhật của Thái. Thì thường Thái sẽ gặp cha mẹ, gặp bạn bè để mà tổ chức, nhưng mà năm nay Thái sẽ không có cơ hội đó tại vì Covid-19. Điều quan trọng nhất trong cộng đồng Việt Nam mình, trong cộng đồng Santa Ana, trong quận Cam này là phải ở nhà. Đừng có gặp mặt nhau, đừng có gặp mặt với gia đình không có phải trong nhà mình, tại vì cái đó mới là bị lây Covid. Bây giờ mấy cái giường ICU đã coi như là hết rồi. Cho nên nếu bạn bè hoặc gia đình của người dân ở thành phố Santa Ana nếu mà bị bệnh sẽ không có giường ICU, cái đó rất là điều quan trọng. Thái hy vọng Thái sẽ không có cần phải đi tới dự đám ma của ai hết, mà tất cả chúng ta có thể giúp đỡ nhau, mang khẩu trang, đừng có đi gần nhau, đừng có đi gần hơn 6 feet, và làm ơn ở nhà đừng có gặp nhau. Thái rất nhớ mẹ của Thái, rất muốn ôm, muốn hung, nhưng mà năm nay rất là điều quan trọng tại mẹ của Thái đã lớn tuổi rồi, thì Thái hy vọng cư dân Santa Ana sẽ ở nhà, sẽ lo lắng tự nhau. Cảm ơn.
Councilmember Jesse Lopez.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I want to begin by saying that hope is on the horizon, and that this holiday season, I am really thankful for the frontline workers, the medical professionals, and all those who have put their lives on the line to keep our community safe and operating. And as we look towards 2021, we must recognize that coronavirus still represents a real danger to all of us, especially our essential workers in our communities. And in our county, Orange County, our Latinos make up 47% of the death, which is the highest. So I want to make it perfectly clear that COVID is not a hoax, and we must be diligent, and that wearing a mask, washing your hands, and maintaining social distancing are still the most effective tools to help fight viral spread until the vaccines are shared with us. So please wear your mask and wear it over your nose and help us slow down the spread, and look after your own health. I would also like to take this time to speak to Santa Ana residents, particularly in my ward, Ward 3, that belong to the Tustin Unified School District and the Garden Grove Unified School District. I promise you that I am keeping you in mind. And as always, if you need any assistance or if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. As I said, hope is on the horizon, but we must remain diligent, vigilant. And David, my condolences go out to you and your family. My family in November also experienced a loss, and so I can sympathize with you. Take care, everyone.
Councilmember Phil Becerra. Councilmember, please unmute.
How's that?
There we go. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Again, good morning, everybody. This is Santa Ana City Councilmember Phil Becerra. I know that this has been a difficult year for all of us, but I'm asking all of our residents and local businesses to join us in protecting our community by continuing to wear your masks in public and around people from outside of your household. Practice safe distancing, and while this is tough, please celebrate the holidays at home with only those in your household. Again, this is especially tough during this time of the year, but we must do whatever we can to stop the spread of this deadly virus. It's not just for our mental health, but also for our financial health. The sooner we can get this virus under control, the sooner that we can fully open our businesses and everyone can go back to work and we can all enjoy each other. So please, let's mask up, stay home, and let's protect Santa Ana.
Councilmember Jonathan Hernandez.
Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to the Santa Ana Unified School District and the board members that took the time out of their day to join us today. It is really going to take a joint effort for us to come together to protect our students, which make up a very large number of our community. 31% of our residents are under the age of 18, our families, and our essential workers. Each person that I just mentioned plays a vital role in bringing us back to a place where we can finally open up the city again. But it's going to take a joint effort for us to get that done. The safest way to make sure that this city will be the city that we once experienced, where we were able to gather and listen to music and enjoy great food, the best way to do that is to stay home. Wash your hands, wear a face mask, but the most preventative thing that you can do is stay within the confines of your own home. I know it's difficult. The holidays take a toll on a lot of us, especially those that grew up in smaller families. It is very difficult during this time to be alone. I ask that you practice kindness with yourself and be innovative in whatever ways that you can. Write Christmas cards, write letters, FaceTime your family members, your friends, send them text messages. Whatever you do, protect yourself and your loved ones. Santa Ana has the highest test positivity rates in Orange County throughout the entire COVID-19 pandemic. On Tuesday, 4 of our city's zip codes were sitting at more than 20%. That's double than the rest of Orange County as a whole. And most of those zip codes exist within Ward 5. And as your council member representing Ward 5, I want to ask you to please practice social distancing. Better yet, stay home. It's for the betterment of our community and the future of our community, our children, because that's who it will impact the most. I hope that you have a safe and prosperous holiday. Thank you.
Councilmember Nelita Mendoza.
Good afternoon, citizens and dignitaries, mayor, and school board members. Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes, Santana. Ahora les voy a hablar no de las consecuencias de no cuidarse, de no protegerse, pero quiero, porque ustedes ya saben lo que puede ocurrir, eso es la muerte de sus familiares, pero no quiero hablar de esas cosas tristes. Yo les voy a hablar de algo más bonito, de lo que podemos esperar si es que ustedes se protegen. Eso es lo que vamos a ver, pero va a tomar tiempo. Tienen que seguir estas precauciones y ya saben, ya las han mencionado mis colegas, y queremos mirar a ustedes y a todas sus familias saludables y estables, pero va a tomar un poquito de tiempo. Así es que por favor, tengan unas buenas Navidades, se protegen, síganse lavando las manos muy seguido, continúen de ponerse sus mascarillas y de no tener ninguna fiestas en donde hay un grupito. No, ahorita manténganse la distancia porque necesitamos mantenerlos saludables. Y ahora, now to my English-speaking Santa Ana residents and dignitaries and the public and the community of Santa Ana, I'm not going to talk to you about the sadness of the consequences of COVID and what it's caused and the devastation and tragedy and the death, but I'm going to talk to you about what we're going to be expecting, and that is our families together, life of hope, of renewed interest in our communities, and we're going to achieve that, but we need your help, and we're going to do that because we're going to continue to do we're going to follow the guidelines, and this time it's going to be even more strict because the numbers here in Santa Ana have continued to climb. Everyone needs to work together to keep our community safe and curb the spread of the COVID-19 in Santa Ana. I would like to express this message for you to spread the holiday cheer and to stop the surge in California. So even if you don't have the symptoms, you can spread the COVID-19 to your loved ones and to others in your community. So please continue to wear your mask, practice physical distancing, wash your hands, and stay home for the holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and be safe. And I will see you again in 2021 with no more tragedies, no more deaths, no more illnesses, because we are going to beat this. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Just a couple bits of information I wanted to share, and then the mayor is going to come back for some closing remarks, and we'll have a few minutes for the media if you have some questions. There is a phone number with Latino Health Access that our residents can call, and businesses and others who want to display these signs. It is 714-805-6517. So if you want to do your part and display one of these signs, you can call that number in order to pick up one of these signs. Again, in Spanish, also, hay letreros disponibles con Latino Health Access para los residentes y los negocios de la ciudad de Santa Ana y las organizaciones también. Pueden llamar al 714-805-6517 para pedir un letrero. Gracias.
Well, I just want to wrap this up by thanking everybody who spoke today, especially America Bracho, who inspired us. I think what we realize is that the reason why we're here is that we wanted to speak with one voice and with one common message, that all of us have to do this together and work. You know, we have to help ourselves. We have to protect our community, and that came through very clear. I want to thank my colleagues, my counterparts on the Santa Ana School District, the superintendent and the city manager, but this is a moment of crisis, and I think you heard that in everybody's voice, in everybody's story. We have the, you know, highest positivity rates, as was mentioned, more than 18,000 cases in Santa Ana, over 330 deaths. Every death is a family member, is a spouse, is a parent, is a child. So we all have to do our part. I believe in us. I believe in our community. I know that we're going to do this together, but we needed to have a rallying cry. And this really is a call to service. We're asking all of you as residents because we can't do this alone. We've all been trying to do this, but it's not enough. We need your help. We're pleading with you to join us and for all of us to join together to save our community. This is an important moment. So let me just go ahead and wrap things up. If anybody has any questions, I know that Dr. Rodriguez is here, America Bracho is here, and I'll make myself available as well. Sure.
So the city has been very proactive with CARES Act money going into community to test, et cetera. The last thing I saw was that that money runs out in 3 days. Is that still the case? And then what?
Yeah, can you repeat the question once? Or, oh, what you're asking is that the CARES Act money is going to be running out, and what do we do then? Is that still the case? That is the case. It is going to be running out on the 20th of December. We're hopeful that we're going to have another renewed amount of money that the federal government is going to send us, but we do have some funds that are going to carry us through, hopefully as a bridge to that next funding source. So we have some monies for rental assistance, we have some money for small business grants. We're asking that people request the home testing kits that are made available through the county, and I know that through Latino Health Access, they're still going to be doing testing in the interim. So we hope that this is just a pause between the next funding source. Yeah.
The services of testing, isolation, food, support for people, the call center are not stopping one bit. We are going to be open during Christmas, New Year, and every day, nonstop. If CARES Act money goes away, and there is already a plan for the county, so we are not stopping.
With regards to the school district, we are in a similar situation as the city with respect to when the CARES Act funds end. A couple of things. One is we really need all of our citizens to continue to press Congress so that we can have an extension of a stimulus package that comes soon, because Santa Ana, as you just heard, is extremely impacted by COVID-19. So we are equally concerned. Let's all advocate for a stimulus package to be released soon so that we can start planning the work. In the short term, though, we have gotten a lot of requests with respect to our meals program, because that's really the one service that our families and our students rely upon. So we are working to extend the food meals through the holiday. And it'll be through a different way, but we are really concerned about the meals. Beyond that, we have already bought protective gear and a couple of other things with the existing funds. Those are things that will continue into next year, but quite frankly, in the end, we really do need to have additional resources, because our food workers, our staff are really, we rely on them heavily for care for our kids.
Well, the testing is going to continue through Latino Health Access, the county, through those efforts. The city will not be able to test during that time. So that pauses, hopefully, till we do get another stimulus round of funds for that. But again, rental assistance money for rental assistance and small business grants have been set aside. We're hopeful that as was mentioned, our folks in Washington are going to be aware that communities like ours are really suffering at this point, so we need that support. and we need them to settle on something.
Any concerns that the city cannot do the program that the impact that it has?
You know, the question is whether we're concerned that, you know, discontinuing those services is a worry. Of course, you know, to the extent that we could continue this indefinitely, because we know that even though I didn't want to mix the messages of vaccines, because we are hopeful. We do see some, you know, hope on the horizon, but it is going to be a long, long path between now and then. So we are hoping that we can be aggressive in our advocacy and make sure that people realize communities like ours, communities that are where we have essential workers, where we have many folks that have underlying chronic health conditions, we live in overcrowded conditions, our public are essential workers, so they're out there. They don't have the luxury of being at home and working virtually. So it is the worst possible dynamic to happen in a city like Santa Ana. So, you know, as I mentioned, you know, we are worried, but we are hopeful that efforts through las promotoras, through Latino Health Access is going to continue and hopefully bridge this time. Adelante. La pregunta es ¿qué pasa si no siguen estas recomendaciones? Nadie quiere dar multas ni castigar a personas. Lo que queremos hacer es informar. Eso era el esfuerzo aquí que nos unimos, ¿o no? Para informar, educar a todos que si no seguimos estos protocolos, nos vamos a dañar peor. Y no nomás uno, estamos dañando a nuestros seres queridos, nuestros papás, nuestros hijos, a todos que viven en nuestro hogar y en nuestro pueblo. Sabemos que Santa Ana es fuerte, va a responder a esta llamada, estoy seguro de eso. Look, the question is, you know, what do we do when our essential workers go outside of our communities into other areas that may not take this as seriously? Look, I'm really troubled by the mixed messages that we've heard straight from the top, from the very beginning, from those in the White House that were saying masks aren't an important thing. We shouldn't take this as serious as we are. It has been very difficult to convince everybody that that's not the case. So yeah, when we have leaders at the county level saying something contrary to what we're trying to message, it is very difficult because you already test people's trust when you do that because you don't know who to listen to. We're trying to tell people this is a way to stay safe while others are giving a contrary message. So look, to the extent that we can't change their narrative, we have to protect our city. Nobody is going to help us unless we help ourselves. That's the whole purpose of this unified, you know, message and campaign, is that we know others are confusing our residents, and that's part of the, you know, problem, is that people don't know who to listen to when they say, look, defy this order, this is a hoax, this isn't real. We've seen the deaths, we've visualized those. So there is, you know, we can't do much to condemn and to force others to change their narrative. All we can do is control our narrative, and that's what we're doing. We're taking control of it today. We're not going to listen to others, and we're telling our residents, listen to us. Listen to people that you trusted, you know, who've been with you, the city, the school district, Latino Health Access. That's what we need to do.
And then you answered in Spanish, but you repeated in English. What happens if residents aren't on board and we see these numbers spike even more so after the holidays? Are we looking at the potential of fines and any sort of line enforcement action?
Bueno, déjame repetir la respuesta en español, y la pregunta era ¿qué hacemos con esas otras comunidades fuera de Santa Ana que tal vez no son tan estrictos con lo que nosotros estamos pidiendo. No podemos controlarles a ellos, lo único que podemos hacer es controlar lo que nosotros estamos mensajeando a nuestros residentes. Y yo les pido disculpas de parte de todos que están confundiendo a nuestro pueblo, porque viene desde arriba, desde la Casa Blanca, de un comienzo que no ha puesto estos mandatorios y no lo ha hecho tan serio y no ha visto la gravedad de esto. Tal vez porque los impactos al pueblo como nosotros, que somos latinos, que somos trabajadores esenciales, que no tenemos el lujo de ir a trabajar o trabajar de casa, tenemos que salir afuera. Por eso estamos aquí hoy día unidos, hablando con una voz, diciendo háganos caso a nosotros, porque nosotros nos vamos a cuidar. Nosotros nos tenemos que cuidar entre pueblo, porque nadie nos va a cuidar si no nos protegemos nosotros. Regarding your question in English about what we're going to do about, after the holidays, if things continue and others keep on defying, yeah, we have mandated that masks be worn in public, and we do have the ability to fine and to, give infractions to people. That really isn't the goal. The goal is to have this be a deterrent, to make people realize this is how serious it's gotten, that we have to now make sure that we have this ability to be able to find folks and make sure that we mandate this. It isn't to be oppressive or punitive on anybody. It's to make sure that we let people know this simple mask will protect you and people you love. That really is the whole point. I think that's it, right? I'm sure America and Dr. Rodriguez will be available for any questions afterwards. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. That ends the press conference. The media that are here, there is the opportunity for you to join Latino Health Access, where they're going to be distributing some of the signs and posters in the neighborhood. So we will give you the information after this. Thank you.